Good morning, good afternoon, good evening everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name's Mark. So you've been asking for this video for quite a while and I've finally got round to making it. You're about to watch a step-by-step guide on how to make my highly nutritious, amazing tasting, budget priced dal recipe. And it has a secret ingredient. It has an ingredient that I haven't seen anybody else on YouTube or in any recipe put into their dal. It's why I call this meal my Superman meal, because it's high in protein, full of nutrients, and it's so good for you. As soon as you eat this stuff, your body will thank you. If you stick around to the end of the video, I'm also going to give you a breakdown of the nutritional values, everything you need to know about this meal. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you all the ingredients, step-by-step guide, and then at the end of the video, if you stick around, I'll give you a breakdown of all the nutritional details. So here we have the ingredients for my beautiful tasting, amazingly healthy dal, i.e. Mark's Superman meal. The base of this dal is actually very simple, and then what you do is you add various flavors and spices to suit your taste. So the base of the dal is dried red split lentils. If you watch a lot of my videos, you'll know that I use these a hell of a lot. And this stuff, this is the secret ingredient. This is pearl barley. The pearl barley is the stuff that adds lots and lots of protein to this meal, lots of fiber, carbohydrates. It's such good stuff. You want to try and get this into your diet as much as you can, folks. So the very simple base: split red lentils, pearl barley. I'm using this vegan vegetable bouillon powder, ground turmeric, medium curry powder, ground cumin, tiny little pinch of sea salt. You've got your fresh broccoli, and then some chopped cubed potatoes. These are Maris Piper potatoes. It doesn't really matter what potatoes you use. Potatoes are so good for you, low in calories, high fiber, high protein. And then I've got a couple of garlic cloves. So basically the spices here, these are optional. Obviously what you want to do is you want to make the base that you'll see, which is the split lentils and the pearl barley with the broccoli and the potatoes, and then you want to figure out what are your favorite spices. These three, turmeric, cumin, medium curry, I use all the time. That's my favorite combination. That's the ingredients. Very simple, very easy, and incredibly cheap as well. I'm using half a cup of red lentils and a really good sized handful of pearl barley. As you can see, I've added it to my pan. I've chopped up the 2 cloves of garlic, and I've put enough water just to cover the lentils. Now the first thing before you do this, and this is very important, you need to put your barley and your lentils into a sieve and just wash them under a running tap. Barley and lentils are a lot like rice. They do tend to come with some dust and tiny bits of debris, so you need to wash those off just to get rid of all the dust and any little tiny bits of debris to make the food nice and clean. Now I'm going to add my spices to the pan. Half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of bouillon powder, and 1, 2, 3 teaspoons of your curry powder. Give all of that a nice good stir so that everything's mixed together. And you might find that some of your spices come into lumps, but you know, give it a stir and those lumps will dissipate. And then it's simply a case of popping the lid. Pop the lid onto your pan, make sure it's nice and secure, and you want to turn the heat on your hob up to maximum. What you want to do is you want to bring this to the boil as quickly as possible, and then once it's brought to the boil, you want to turn the heat down to simmer, and then you want to add all the other ingredients, which I will show you momentarily. So when you bring your lentils, barley, garlic and spices to the boil, you'll often find that you get this kind of foam sitting on top of the pan, on top of the water rather. What you want to do is you want to take a ladle or something like that and just scoop that foam off. If you leave that foam in, it doesn't leave a very good taste, so you want to scoop all that stuff off, take it off the surface. Make sure you don't scoop up the lentils, barley and garlic with it. Once you've discarded the foam floating on the top, you just want to add your broccoli and your potatoes and just add everything you've got. Put in a little pinch of sea salt, not too much. You don't want to over salt it. So once you've got your broccoli, potatoes and salt in, you just want to give that a little stir. You want to make sure that the broccoli and the potatoes get sort of coated in the with the lentils and the spices, so you can see them turning a bit of a colour. You want to pour in some more water. You want to add enough water so that everything is covered. Give it all a good stir. Pop the lid back on, that's important. And then you want to turn your heat back up to maximum. And again, you want to just wait a minute or so, bring it up to the boil. Once it starts to boil, you then want to turn the heat down so that it's on a rolling simmer. So once you've brought the mixture back up to the boil, take the lid off, reduce the heat. I've now got my heat on to number 2. And this is what I consider a rolling simmer to look like. So that's what you want to do. Once you've got that to a simmering point, again, pop the lid on. It's really important you put the lid on, because this will actually keep the steam and keep the heat in. So the next part of the cooking process is basically down to you guys. What you need to do is you need to leave your pan on simmer so that it reduces the amount of water in the pan and cooks all of the food. Now, here's the thing. Some people like to leave a little bit of liquid in the pan when they take it off to eat it, so that the consistency of the dal is a little bit more runny. Some people like to reduce the water so there's almost no water, so that it's like a kind of a mush with no liquid in it. For me personally, I like to simmer it to the point where there's just a small amount of liquid so that the consistency is a little bit more runny. As I said, I can't really guide you at this point as to the amount of time that you allow it to simmer. It's completely up to you. So it's simply a case of you making this recipe and using your experience as you make it several times to see which is your favourite consistency of the finished meal. For me personally, I leave it on simmer for about 20 minutes and that's pretty much perfect. So the pan has been simmering away on a low heat with the lid on for about 20-22 minutes. Hopefully this should be roughly the consistency that I like. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. If I was serving it up with rice, I would reduce the liquid a lot more, because I just don't want it running into all the rice, so it would be thicker. It would be a thicker sort of dal consistency, but I'm not having rice with it today. I'm just having this on its own. So that is pretty much perfect. So I'm going to serve this up. I'm going to show you served up and ready to eat in the bowl, and then, as I said earlier, if you stay tuned, I'm going to give you a breakdown of the nutrients so that you know just exactly how good this is for you and why I call this my Superman meal, because the amount of protein in this meal is absolutely insane. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. It's all finished. It is absolutely, oh, I wish you could smell this. I wish my camera had smell-o-vision. Fantastic. Barley, lentils, spices, a little bit of salt, broccoli, potatoes. The great thing that I love about this is it's so versatile. You can use any spices you want. You can use any vegetable, like cauliflower. You could throw spinach in here. I put spinach in sometimes. Just fantastic. It smells great, tastes great. If I'm going for like a 10 or 12 mile walk in the morning, or if I'm going for a big bike ride in the next morning, I always have this meal the night before, because it really sets me up for a fantastic start to the day the next day. So anyway, I'm going to eat this before it cools off, and then I'm going to show you just why this is so good for you with a full nutritional breakdown. You've seen the ingredients, you've seen the way that you cook the Daal / Mark's Superman meal. I've got my laptop here. I've put all of the ingredients into Chronometer, which is a fantastic website. If you haven't used it, you're interested in weight loss and in knowing all about what's in your food, Chronometer is a fantastic website. Chronometer.com. Not sponsored, not paid, just something I use. So I've put all of the ingredients into Chronometer, and I'm going to go through with you some of the nutrients, and you'll see just why I call that meal my Superman meal. In terms of calories, we're talking 521 calories. So if you're looking to lose weight, you need to have a calorie deficit per day. If you eat that meal, 521 calories, it's going to fill you up. If you have it for dinner, you're not going to snack on anything. You're not going to want anything until breakfast. So that's a pretty good amount of calories if you're trying to create calorie deficit on a daily basis, which is what you need to do to lose weight. Fiber, this is really fantastic. fiber is 37 grams. That's 145% of all the fiber that a man of my age, my height, my weight should be having to be healthy. So basically this one meal gives me 44% more fiber than I need. So here's one of the best things about this meal. If you're looking to lose weight, you need to reduce your saturated fat intake. That entire meal that you've just seen me cook, the saturated fat statistic is 0.52 grams. So it's literally half of 1 gram of saturated fat. So if you're eating that meal regularly, you're not even putting 1 gram of saturated fat into your body in that one meal. That is absolutely extraordinary. Now, the reason that I put that meal together with no specific ingredients was because I was looking to create a meal that would have a very, very high amount of protein. As I said earlier, before I go for bike rides in the morning or long walks, I will have this meal the night before to give me a really good boost of protein. The protein statistics for that one meal are 25 grams of protein. That means that that one meal gives me 50% of all the protein I need for the day. 50%, that's a huge, colossal amount. There aren't many meals that you're going to eat where you'll get that amount of protein in one meal. Now, given the other things that I eat in the day, waffles, smoothie bowls, oats, all those kind of things, I get more than enough protein. In fact, when I look at my chronometer statistics over the last 6 months, I'm actually getting something like 150% of the protein that I need every day. So 100% is what you need, and then I'm getting an extra 50% on top. And this meal is one of the reasons why my protein is so high. Fantastic. Protein gives you strength, gives you energy, builds your muscles, also helps to burn fat. If we go across now to some of the vitamins, one of the vitamins that a lot of people don't talk about is folates. They're very, very important. They help your immune system and all kinds of things. That meal has 58.6% of all the folates I need. All kinds of amazing vitamins in there. Vitamin A, 64%. Vitamin C. Vitamin C. There are 137 milligrams of vitamin C in that meal. That's 227% of all the vitamin C I need. If we move on down here to the minerals, the amount of iron in that meal is 7.75 milligrams. That's 43%. So not too far off. Half of all the iron that I need is in that one meal. Manganese, very important, 84.3% in that one meal. I mean, it is pretty fantastic. Selenium is a much under talked about mineral. You need selenium for brain function. Selenium is found in our soil, so if you have a plant-based diet, you should be getting enough. That one meal, selenium is 30.8%, so 31% of all the selenium I need, so that's pretty cool. Zinc, 14.4%. Zinc is a problem that I have specifically. I have recurring bacterial prostatitis. Touch wood, I haven't actually had it for about a year, maybe, no, actually it's longer, it's about 18 months. So I have to be careful. I like to keep my zinc levels very high. That meal helps. I also take a zinc supplement, but if you don't have a specific health problem where you need more zinc, this kind of meal is really going to help boost that for you. So there you go. You've seen my Daal recipe, you've seen the ingredients, you've seen the method, you've heard all about the minerals, vitamins, protein, all that stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe. Come and join me at Instagram, veganmark_01. I hope that you're liking the new YouTube homepage and artwork and stuff. I'm still working to improve my channel, so I appreciate every view. I appreciate every comment as you continue to travel with me as I try to improve my content. Anyway, I'm sure I'll see you all again very, very soon. In the meantime, please take care. Please look after yourselves. And more importantly, thank you so much for investing some of your time.